I have an important thing to share with coaching and with anything.
Okay.
What really blocks us is not only what we want, but the people around us. So our subconscious mind is actually speaking to each other all the time. So you could be thinking really positive, and then you go home for the holidays and everyone's kind of treating you differently. You could actually lose that. Your peers are also very important, is to form. So if you're wanting success, but you're hanging out with people that are complaining that there isn't any money or the economy's bad, you're going to be unconsciously sucked in, and they're hypnotizing you. So be careful who you surround yourself with. Watching the news or negative things will fill your subconscious mind up with things. So this is how powerful it is. It really goes beyond the speaking. I mean, I just
rewrote a quote today by Ian Levincent, one of my favorite life coaches, that says, everyone in my life is a reflection of myself. And it's like, whoa. Some of them it's like good, and others are like, uh-oh. So yeah. So are you saying that we attract one another, or we absorb, or both? We have patterns that are set?
Well, what happens is you'll resonate to certain types of people, like when you grew up. And then when you shift that pattern, and one of the reasons why people don't change is because if they do change, will the people around them leave? If I lose weight, then I won't be the heavy like the rest of my family. I've heard that before. I won't fit in anymore because that's what we had in common. Or if I stop drinking, all my friends are going to have to lose them. Or if I get married, all my single friends are going to lose me. Or if I get divorced, all my married friends are so but once you shift, you're not going to want to be in that same environment anymore if it's not supporting
if you truly want what you say you want. And I guess if you're hypnotized, you'll get to that point. But tell me, why smoking in one session, and how? I mean, there's so many people who are out there trying, I know.
Well, I have a unique process that I work on all different levels, and for certain in one session. So for certain people, one little thing I do creates that change. Another person, it's another thing. So I do all these steps that I know work for different people, and so they get it all at one time. And then it's interactive. So I just have them, I let them lift their fingers for if they want to quit or not, and then I check in to make sure their subconscious is in alignment. And then so I'm catching it if there is a block, and catch it right there, shift it, and then they're done. And I've 90% success rate.
Wow. Oh.
And even the non-believers, they'll be, but they have to believe at some level, or they wouldn't be coming here.
Or be even bothered with you, absolutely. So you're saying that that's the one thing that you don't want to do in incremental steps. You just want it to be done, because it can't be done in incremental steps, really, right? You either smoke or you don't, right? Yeah.
Well, and I always ask the person the readiness for it. Some people have a lot of anxiety, and I always suggest that they clear the anxiety first. And we work on that before we do the hypnosis on the smoking, because that will support them. Because if they still have the anxiety, that'll be a bigger driver for them to return to smoking. So when they clear the anxiety, it just seems like a lot of times they don't even smoke anymore, because that was the reason why they were smoking, is to manage their anxiety. So.
Wow. It's, you know what? Okay, now my mind is getting too full. And so I want to tell you a little bit about, or I want her to tell you a little bit about her website, because she has all kinds of free things on it. It's like, she also sells stuff. She's not crazy, but she is very generous. So tell us what we're going to find on your website when we go to, let's see if I can do it again, AttractRealLove.com.
Yes,
I keep wanting to put now.
She's going to get a test later.
I've already failed. It's all right. So what will we find on there?
Well, I have videos. I've done some hypnotic videos. Actually, I have a beautiful one called Feeling Beautiful. And so it's for anyone, and it's really catered to women. And it's beautiful scenes of the Pacific sunset. And then I have my voice as a sampling of one of my Feeling Beautiful MP3s. It's a full-length one you can buy, but the sample of it you can listen to for free and watch the sunset and hear how beautiful you are. I mean, does it get any better than that?
That's worth a click or two, yeah.
And then I also have I have a radio show called The Love Coach Show, where I work with singles on the law of attraction and getting your subconscious in alignment with attracting the right person. And so I have all those shows. I have teleseminars on why you fall for the wrong person.
These are all free. I mean, you can download or listen online, listen live,
And then I have just audios. If you sign up for my newsletter, I have one newsletter for the dating site, and then a link to my general hypnosis site, which is hypnodeb.com, but we won't confuse you. That has another.
I'll do that.
That has another. It's a confidence download, just a general confidence for people, because everyone needs it. I mean, that's the foundation of any issue you have in life. And so you just sign up for the newsletter, and you get a free download with that as well. So there's a lot of great stuff and articles, and just today I wrote an article called "What Does Michael Jackson Have to Teach Us About Dating?" So they're fun.
That would be worth reading, I guess.
It has nothing to do with children.
Oh, good.
But it's all about the masks we put on, and like how we judge people and how we judge ourselves, and the judgment he's gone through, and it could be for anyone, not only single people, but how we really don't embrace who we really are. We always feel like we have to hide behind a mask.
And he's such a typical mask. I mean, it's such an epitome of the mask, because he kept morphing into someone else, you know, and that had to be. He obviously wasn't happy with who he was, but that's okay. You had mentioned medical miracles, and I know you have one that happened pretty early on to you.
Yes.
You want to tell us about that?
Oh, I love this story.
I do too. I just heard it.
When I first got out of school, a friend of mine had called me, or was emailing all of us and asking for prayers for her mother. She was 53, and she went into a coma. She was actually just pneumonia, and it turned into septic shock, and she went into a coma. And she had been in a coma for weeks, and they basically told her there wasn't any hope. And so she was praying and praying, and she was reaching out. And I said, hey, I just got out of hypnosis school, and I learned a little bit about medical, healing and the power of the mind. And so I made a program for her mom, and I took down everything that was wrong with her body, and I reversed it. And I told her that she's deserved, everyone loves her, and she's important to life, and she's responding well to all medical treatment. And within 24 hours, she was out of her coma, and she's living now, and she's fine. She lost a couple toes because the body shuts down, but she's really fine. And the doctor said it was a miracle, and it's really amazing.
But we know better now.
And another medical miracle, my dad was going through chemo. He has leukemia, and so I worked with him. And the first time I didn't have a chance to work with him because he didn't want anyone to come to the hospital. But the second time he had to go back again because it came back, and he was really scared, so he was probably open to anything. And he didn't have any side effects from the chemo the second time. And he said he thinks it's a miracle. Yeah, and he said that he believes in the power of the mind now. And it's just really, and so imagine you could do something that great, and what it could do for your life, and when maybe a little problem you have about like balancing your checkbook, trying to find the right
simple,
career, or finding the right love, or getting over a divorce. So much is possible, and
absolutely.
You're the only one that's limiting yourself from that possibility.
That's amazing. Well, actually, we have a minute left. Do you believe that?
Oh, no.
A minute. So I want to give you her website again. I'm going to do it right. Get Real Love. Oh my goodness.
Attract Real
Well, I'm
Love.
sort of going to do it right. It's attractreallove.com. You just go, and you're going to get all kinds of fascinating things. I can't thank you enough. I know people are going to want to see part 1 and part 2 and part 3. I
would love to come back anytime.
Yeah, and you're welcome anytime. Absolutely. Maybe we'll do some on-air hypnosis.
I'll do some hypnosis.
Tell us the biggest fallacy in the few seconds. Thank you so much for being on. Really, it's been fascinating. But tell us the biggest fallacy about hypnotic. Hypnosis itself, yeah.
Well, the biggest fallacy is that I can't hypnotize you.
And
It's
we'll
all
leave that as
self-hypnosis.
a what is that called? A trailer? Not a trailer.
Teaser.
Teaser, yes. And you'll come back again. Debra, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been great.
Fantastic. And I know everybody's dying. Yes, everybody's dying to get hypnotized now. And hopefully you'll contact